Have you ever been denied water? Not because there wasn't any, but because someone believed you weren't pure enough to touch it. Imagine being 10 years old, thirsty after school and watching others drink freely while you're told to wait until the school peon, the only one allowed to touch your water pot, shows up. Now imagine that peon doesn't show up. That was Bhimrao Ambedkar, a boy who was told from the very beginning, you do not belong here. And yet, the same boy went on to write the Constitution of the Republic of India. This isn't just a story of resilience, it's a story of determination, of how pain can be turned into purpose and purpose into policy. We often hear Babasaheb Ambedkar's name once a year, garlanded, tweeted and quoted. But how often do we pause and actually try to know him? Not the textbook Ambedkar, not the political symbol, but the human being, the thinker, the rebel, the builder. He was born in 1891 into a system designed to crush people like him. It did everything it could, socially, emotionally, institutionally. But what it didn't account for was his will. Bhimrao didn't just want to escape the fire, he wanted to extinguish it for everyone. So he studied ferociously. From the University of Bombay to Columbia to the London School of Economics, a Dalit man from India with barely any resources went on to earn multiple doctorates when most in the world couldn't dream of one. But he wasn't hoarding degrees for glory. He was collecting tools to carve out justice from stone. Let's be honest, most people know Ambedkar for two things. One, for fighting caste and drafting the constitution. Both are true, both are massive, but they are still just the surface. Did you know that Ambedkar was instrumental in conceptualizing the Reserve Bank of India? That he led out policies for water management, labor rights, industrial planning long before they were mainstream. That he advocated for gender equality in property rights at a time when women were barely visible in public discourse. He was a jurist, an economist, a policymaker, writer, philosopher, and above all, someone who made India pause and look into its own soul. But let's pause for a moment and ask, why do we remember him only as a Dalit icon? Why not as one of the greatest intellectuals this country has ever seen? Because it's easier to confine him to a category than to confront the uncomfortable truths he made us face. You see, Ambedkar wasn't trying to flip the power structure. He was trying to demolish the very idea that one human being can dominate another based on birth. That's not reform. That's a revolution. A silent one, but a revolution nonetheless. And it wasn't easy. He faced opposition from every side, conservatives, progressives, politicians, even fellow reformers. But he stood tall. Alone if needed, because for him, the goal was never applause, it was equality. Here's a story not many know. When drafting the constitution, Ambedkar insisted that no religion, no caste, no custom should be allowed to stand in the way of liberty and justice. Someone asked him, isn't that a bit too idealistic for India? He replied, no, it's a bare minimum we owe to every citizen. He didn't want charity for the oppressed. He demanded dignity. Now think about today. Rising inequality, polarized debates, declining trust in institutions. The answers to many of these aren't in breaking news. They are in Ambedkar's pages. His words are not old, they are urgently relevant. So what do we take from Babasaheb today? Beyond statues and hashtags. We take his audacity to dream, his refusal to accept that's just how things are. His clarity that democracy is not about voting, but about voice, every voice. His belief that education is not privilege, it is liberation. And above all, his courage to speak up even when it meant standing alone. Ambedkar Jayanti isn't just a ritual, it's a mirror and a challenge. So the question isn't, why do we celebrate Ambedkar Jayanti? The real question is, are we ready to live what he stood for? The honest answer, not completely. And that is what exactly we need to strive for every day. Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat.